Yo, what up, fam? This your boy Sid, the RC guy, and we're here at beautiful Cobar's Hobby Town, as we do so often. Here again with Tom Neff. You know him, you love him, and he's our flight instructor to teach you boys how to fly, because we don't know what we're doing. Tom, how we doing?
We're doing good today. We're just going to try and get you guys in the sky and try and keep you from crashing. That's the main thing, right?
Nice. That's what I'm hoping for. So we're here for a Talk It Up Thursday. I thought, what better person to bring in and talk and chit-chat and kind of goof around with than Tom, especially because he's had to deal with me and he's gotten to know me. I'm surprised he hasn't flown a plane at me yet. That may be another. That may be later down the road. No. It was a flyby, I swear. Sure, Tom. So, Tom, tell me a little about your backstory. I know you've been flying for 30 plus years. You're like top rated in the world. You AMA, you got a whole group out here. You got stuff going on in Boulder. You're just the man to go to when it comes to flying.
Well, I've been flying 40 years. I still really enjoy it. It's a passion I've had for a very long time. I'm not top rated in the world by any sense, but I have flown in many national events, and I've flown quite a bit of radio control pylon racing and combat, and that's two of the events I enjoy when I decide to change it from a hobby to a sport. I also enjoy flying drones and quadcopters and just about anything with wings, turbines, all that stuff is really a lot of fun, and I really enjoy it. Sid approached me and asked if I would start flight training with him, and I have. And so we went out for our first flight training lesson, and Sid's quote was, "It's a lot more difficult to fly a real plane than it is to fly on the flight simulator." So having said that,
simulator's a liar.
Simulator's a liar, I love it. But what Sid did say was that he could not believe how difficult it is, and he's right. It is very difficult to fly if you haven't had experience, and most of the time it ends up in a bad situation where you'll probably crash. So my highest recommendation would be to go to your flight instructor at your club and tell him basically where you're at. Take him out a prepared airplane, something that's ready to go, so that he doesn't have to spend 3/4 of his lesson fixing your airplane before it gets in the sky. That's huge. If you can get to that point, then you'll be pretty much ready to go.
Yeah, so like I said, he took me out flying. We had a ton of fun. He's an excellent flyer. Since two things that when we talk about, and then we'll close it out. Drones. A lot of negative going on right now that I see in the medias, in the Facebooks, and I'm a huge advocate for supporting of the drones. What do you see, or what advice could you give people? Because it seems like there's so many people that they do it, and I guess they don't realize that there's repercussions for these things that they're doing. That to somebody may be funny, but to somebody else may be not as funny, where they're willing to come down and actually shoot these down. I've actually heard about that.
Yeah, the drones have really come a long ways in a very short period of time. It's like anytime something new has ever been introduced into flying RC, there's always a lot of repercussions to start off with. But the problem is you can fly a drone in your backyard. It's very difficult to fly an RC airplane in your backyard. So drones are very easy to take and fly any place you want to fly them. But then comes the aspect of flying responsibly, and that's where it's huge. You've got to imagine that if you were flying a drone, what would happen if it actually flew into somebody, or what would happen if you lose control, or what happens if it gets airborne and you really don't know how to control it. What's it going to hit? Where's it going to go? These are questions that you've really got to ask yourself before it takes off and flies. So once again, I can't emphasize enough, if you don't know how to fly it, or you've never flown it before, you need to get a flight instructor that understands the correct way to fly one, and have him work with you and make sure that he and you truly understand what direction you want to go with flying one of these, because basically it's 4 propellers spinning at somewhere between, I'm going to guess, 4,000 to 10,000 RPM, and that can cause a lot of damage very quickly if you don't know what you're doing.
Yeah, I agree. So, one last thing, and we are going to get video of this, because I seen it in his trailer, and I was like, I could almost ride this thing. The jet. That thing is, I will pay this man for the fuel, because you guys don't understand, this thing is bigger than the case. Like, this thing, how big is this thing?
The jet itself is approximately an 8-foot wingspan. Yeah. So turbines is the other thing. If somebody ever gets interested in flying turbines, I'm a certified turbine instructor as well, and I can also teach you how to fly turbines. So that's one other thing that we're capable of doing as well. And we do turbine training out at our flying field in Strasbourg. It's Air Park Elite RC Field, and you're more than welcome to explore that as an opportunity to join as well.
So, Tom, thank you so much for coming
You're
out.
welcome.
Everybody, please check out all of his information. I'm going to put everything at the end. As always, check us out at Facebook at Copar's Hobby Town. I'm going to make sure that all of his information is at the end. As always, keep your life was charged. We'll holler at you guys later.